Welcome back, coin collectors and treasure seekers. Rocket in today's video, we're counting down the 4 most valuable coins that are turning ordinary pocket change into serious cash. These aren't just old coins, they're rare, high demand, and worth hundreds to thousands of dollars in the right condition. Make sure you watch until the end, because one of these coins could be hiding in your collection right now. Let's unlock the value and discover the money secrets collectors don't want you to miss. Money Bag Fire. The 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar holds a distinctive place in modern American numismatics, and while it is not a bicentennial issue in the strict sense, since bicentennial half dollars were dated 1776 to 1976, it remains one of the more intriguing and condition-sensitive coins of the early 1970 series. For collectors seeking the most expensive and highest-graded examples, the 1972 D can represent a surprisingly valuable prize. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin is highly sought after in superb uncirculated grades, where pristine surfaces, sharp strikes, and strong luster elevate it far beyond its modest face value. Its appeal lies not in silver content, but in condition rarity and its role within the broader Kennedy half-dollar series, making it an important target for registry set competitors and advanced collectors alike. The historical context of the 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar is rooted in the continued national reverence for President John F. Kennedy following his assassination in 1963. First issued in 1964, the Kennedy half dollar quickly became a symbol of remembrance and patriotism. By 1972, the coin was well established as a regular circulating issue, though public hoarding in earlier years had reduced its day-to-day use. The Denver Mint struck millions of half dollars that year as part of standard production for commerce. Unlike the earlier 1964 silver and 1965 to 1970 40% silver issues, the 1972 D was struck in copper-nickel clad composition, reflecting the United States' broader shift away from precious metal coinage due to rising silver prices. In terms of design, the 1972 D continues the classic Kennedy half-dollar motif created by chief engraver Gilroy Roberts on the obverse and Frank Gasparo on the reverse. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, modeled after his official presidential medal. The inscription Liberty arcs around the rim, with "In God We Trust" below the chin and the date 1972 at the bottom. The reverse displays the heraldic eagle adapted from the presidential seal, clutching arrows and an olive branch, surrounded by 50 stars. The D mint mark appears on the obverse beneath Kennedy's neck truncation. The coin measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter and weighs 11.34 grams, with a composition of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. What makes the 1972 D particularly interesting is the variability in strike quality. Denver-minted coins of this era are often known for softer details, especially in Kennedy's hair above the ear and around the temple. Fully struck examples with strong hair definition and minimal contact marks are significantly scarcer than the overall mintage might suggest. Additionally, coins with vibrant mint luster and clean fields are increasingly difficult to locate in top condition. This has created a situation where common-date coins become condition rarities at the highest grading levels. Although the total mintage of the 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar exceeded 140 million pieces, the vast majority entered circulation and suffered heavy contact marks or wear. As a result, high-grade mint state examples, particularly those graded MS-66 and above, are far less common than raw numbers imply. Coins certified at MS-67 are considered condition rarities, and population reports from leading grading services show a steep drop-off at these elite levels. The scarcity of superb gems has fueled strong demand among collectors building high-end sets. In circulated grades, the 1972 D. Kennedy half dollar is typically worth only face value or slightly more, generally ranging from 50 cents to $2 depending on condition. However, in uncirculated grades, values increase meaningfully. MS-63 to MS-65 examples commonly trade between $5 and $20, depending on eye appeal and strike. In MS-66, prices may range from $50 to $150. At the MS-67 level, auction results have shown prices reaching $500 to over $1,000, particularly for coins with exceptional luster and minimal marks. These figures reflect realistic modern market trends and underscore how dramatically condition affects value. Error varieties and special characteristics can also enhance desirability. While the 1972 D is not known for major die varieties on the scale of certain double dies from other series, minor double die obverse, repunched mint marks, and off-center strikes have been documented. Dramatic mint errors, such as broad strikes or clipped planchets, can command premiums ranging from $100 to several $100s depending on severity and eye appeal. Such pieces add another layer of intrigue for specialists in mint-era collecting. For collectors seeking a high-quality 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar, careful evaluation is essential. Look for sharp hair detail above Kennedy's ear, strong separation in the eagle's feathers, and minimal bag marks in the open fields. Certification by reputable grading services such as PCGS or NGC is strongly recommended for coins in MS66 or higher, as small differences in grade can mean significant differences in value. Proper storage in archival quality holders or slabs will help preserve the coin's surfaces and prevent toning or environmental damage. Acquiring top-tier examples often requires patience and strategic purchasing. Reputable coin dealers, major auction houses, and established online numismatic platforms are the safest sources. Monitoring population reports can help collectors gauge rarity at specific grade levels. Participation in coin shows and numismatic forums can also provide networking opportunities and insider knowledge about upcoming sales. For registry set collectors, competition can drive prices upward, so timing and budget discipline are important considerations. In conclusion, the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar stands as a compelling example of how modern coins can achieve significant value through condition rarity rather than intrinsic metal content. While not a bicentennial issue, it remains an integral part of the Kennedy half-dollar series and a challenging coin in superb grades. Its historical ties to President Kennedy's legacy, combined with its classic design and scarcity in high mint state levels, make it attractive to both seasoned collectors and newcomers. As interest in high-grade modern coinage continues to grow, the finest known examples of the 1972 D are likely to maintain strong demand, solidifying their place in advanced numismatic collections. The 1974 D. Kennedy half-dollar holds a distinctive place in modern American numismatics, and while it is not a bicentennial issue in the strict sense, it stands as an important prelude to the nation's approaching 200th anniversary. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin represents a transitional era in the Kennedy half-dollar series, an era defined by changing metal compositions, shifting collector interest, and the fading of silver from everyday circulation. For many collectors, the 1974 D is not just a common circulation piece but a potential treasure when found in superb condition or with rare striking characteristics. High-grade examples and exceptional specimens have achieved impressive premiums, making the coin a fascinating study in how condition and scarcity can elevate an otherwise plentiful issue into a sought-after collectible. Historically, the Kennedy half-dollar series began in 1964 as a tribute to President John F. Kennedy following his assassination in 1963. By 1974, the series had already undergone a significant transformation. The original 90% silver composition was replaced in 1965 with a 40% silver clad, and by 1971 the coin transitioned to a copper-nickel clad composition for circulation. The 1974 D was minted during this post-silver era, when half-dollars were no longer widely used in everyday commerce. Though millions were struck, public hoarding and declining circulation meant that pristine examples were often set aside. Produced at the Denver Mint, the D mint mark appears on the obverse, just below Kennedy's neck truncation, marking its origin and adding a layer of mint-specific interest for collectors assembling complete date and mint sets. The design of the 1974 D. Kennedy half-dollar remains one of the most recognizable in American coinage. The obverse, designed by Gilroy Roberts, features a dignified left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, capturing both strength and solemnity. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, displays the presidential seal, an eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and an olive branch, encircled by 50 stars. The coin measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter and weighs 11.34 grams, composed of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. In high-grade mint state condition, the coin's luster can be radiant, with frosty surfaces and sharply defined hair details above Kennedy's ear, an area often weakly struck. The combination of classic portraiture and symbolic national imagery gives the coin enduring aesthetic appeal. While the mintage of the 1974 D half-dollar exceeded 79 million pieces, true rarity emerges when condition is considered. Most examples entered circulation or were stored in rolls where contact marks diminished their quality. As a result, coins grading MS65 or higher become significantly scarcer, and those reaching MS67 are genuinely rare. Fully struck examples with clean fields and strong luster command attention in the marketplace. Additionally, minor die varieties and double die errors add intrigue, though none are as widely publicized as earlier series varieties. The scarcity of ultra-high-grade examples, particularly those certified by leading grading services, drives competitive bidding among registry set collectors seeking the finest known specimens. Condition plays a decisive role in determining value. Circulated 1974 DE halves are typically worth only face value or a small premium. However, uncirculated coins in MS63 to MS64 may fetch modest premiums, while MS65 examples often range from $20 to $50 depending on eye appeal. In MS66, values can climb into the $75 to $150 range. The true standouts are MS67 coins, which are scarce and can sell for $800 to over $2,000 at auction, particularly if they display exceptional strike and luster. These figures reflect the broader numismatic principle that condition rarity often outweighs sheer mintage numbers in determining worth. Market trends over recent years have shown steady interest in high-grade modern coinage, especially among collectors building competitive registry sets. Auction records reveal that top population 1974 D. Kennedy halves have realized four-figure sums when two or more determined bidders compete. While the coin does not contain silver and therefore lacks intrinsic bullion value, its numismatic premium in elite grades can far exceed that of many older silver issues. Demand is fueled by collectors seeking completion of date and mint runs from 1964 to the present, as well as investors who recognize the finite supply of top-certified examples. Another aspect enhancing the coin's appeal is its connection to the broader bicentennial era of the mid-1970s. Although the official bicentennial halves were dated 1776 to 1976, the 1974 D forms part of the build-up period leading to that historic commemoration. Collectors often assemble complete sets spanning the early 1970s through the bicentennial releases, placing the 1974 D within a meaningful historical continuum. Its production during a time of economic change, rising inflation, and shifting coin usage patterns adds cultural depth to its story. For collectors seeking high-quality examples, careful examination is essential. Look for strong strikes, particularly in Kennedy's hair and the eagle's breast feathers. Avoid coins with excessive bag marks, dull surfaces, or signs of improper cleaning. Certification by reputable grading services such as PCGS or NGC provides assurance of authenticity and condition, which is particularly important when investing in higher-grade specimens. Original mint luster and clean, untuned surfaces are often more desirable than artificially brightened coins. Storing the coin in a climate-controlled environment, ideally in a certified holder or archival quality capsule, helps preserve its condition and long-term value. Acquiring a premium 1974 D. Kennedy half-dollar can be achieved through reputable coin dealers, major auction houses, or established online marketplaces. Attending coin shows allows collectors to inspect examples firsthand and compare quality across multiple offerings. Networking within numismatic communities can also uncover opportunities to purchase well-preserved rolls or estate collections. Patience is key. Waiting for a coin with superior eye appeal often proves more rewarding than purchasing the first available specimen. Registry collectors in particular understand that incremental upgrades can significantly enhance the overall value of a collection. In conclusion, the 1974 D. Kennedy half-dollar may not be rare in raw numbers, but in exceptional condition it transforms into a modern numismatic prize. Its historical context within the Kennedy series, its elegant and enduring design, and the scarcity of ultra-high-grade examples combine to create meaningful collector demand. Market values for top-certified specimens demonstrate how condition rarity can elevate a common coin into a four-figure asset. For both new and seasoned numismatists, the 1974 D offers an accessible yet challenging pursuit, one that blends history, artistry, and investment potential into a single, enduring piece of American coinage. The 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar may not carry the bicentennial dual date of 1776 to 1976, yet it represents an important and increasingly appreciated chapter in the long-running Kennedy half-dollar series. For serious numismatists, the most valuable examples of the 1989 P are not ordinary circulation pieces, but superbly preserved, high-grade mint state coins and rare error varieties that stand at the top of population reports. While millions were struck, the finest known specimens in grades such as MS67 and above have achieved impressive premiums at auction, elevating this modern issue into the spotlight of advanced collectors. Its appeal lies in condition rarity rather than low mintage, making it a fascinating study in modern coin scarcity and market demand. The 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar was minted at the Philadelphia Mint during a transitional era for U.S. coinage. By 1989, the half-dollar was no longer widely used in everyday commerce, and most pieces were produced primarily for collectors and Federal Reserve distribution. The coin forms part of the copper-nickel-clad series that began in 1971 after the end of 40% silver composition. Though it does not commemorate a specific bicentennial event, it continues the legacy of honoring President John F. Kennedy, whose portrait has graced the half-dollar since 1964 following his assassination. The P mint mark on this issue reflects the Philadelphia Mint's modern practice of including mint marks on its coins, a change that began in 1980 for most denominations. Design-wise, the 1989 P maintains the classic Kennedy half-dollar appearance created by chief engraver Gilroy Roberts and sculptor-engraver Frank Gasparo. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of President Kennedy with the inscriptions "Liberty," "In God We Trust," and the date, 1989. The reverse showcases the heraldic eagle with shield, clutching arrows and an olive branch, surrounded by 50 stars. The coin is composed of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, weighs 11.34 grams, and measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter. While the design had been in use for decades by 1989, sharply struck, lustrous examples with full detail and blazing mint brilliance stand out dramatically, especially when free of contact marks. In terms of mintage, the 1989 P had a production run exceeding 24 million pieces, a figure that might suggest commonality. However, most were released into circulation or stored in rolls, often acquiring contact marks and dull surfaces. Truly pristine examples graded MS66 and higher are far scarcer than raw numbers imply. Modern coins are notoriously difficult to find in ultra-high grades due to bag marks, weak strikes, or surface abrasions. As a result, population reports from leading grading services show a steep drop-off at the highest certified levels, creating a condition rarity that drives collector competition. The most valuable 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollars are typically those graded MS67 or finer by professional grading companies such as PCGS or NGC. Coins at this level exhibit exceptional luster, razor-sharp strike detail, and nearly flawless surfaces. Even minor imperfections can lower a grade dramatically, so top-tier examples represent the absolute cream of surviving specimens. In addition, dramatic mint errors, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or broad strikes, can command strong premiums when authenticated. While no major, universally recognized double die variety dominates the series for 1989 P, significant and visually striking errors have sold for notable sums due to their uniqueness. Market value for a typical circulated 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar remains modest, generally hovering around face value or slightly above. Uncirculated examples in MS63 to MS65 condition usually trade in the $3 to $10 range, depending on eye appeal and market demand. However, in MS66, prices can rise to approximately $40 to $75. At the elite MS67 level, auction records have shown realizations ranging from $200 to $400, with particularly attractive specimens occasionally exceeding that range. Exceptional error coins or top population pieces can command even higher prices, particularly when registry set collectors compete to secure the finest known example. Several factors influence these values. First, modern registry set collecting has intensified demand for the highest graded coins in each date and mint combination. Collectors striving for top-ranked sets often pay substantial premiums for coins with the highest certified grades and lowest population counts. Second, overall interest in the Kennedy half-dollar series remains strong due to its historical connection to President Kennedy and its iconic design. Finally, market conditions, precious metal trends, though not directly tied to clad composition, and the broader numismatic climate all contribute to fluctuations in value. For collectors seeking a premium 1989 P example, careful inspection is essential. Look for coins with strong, even luster across both obverse and reverse, minimal contact marks on Kennedy's cheek and jawline, and crisp detail in the eagle's feathers. Certification by PCGS or NGC is highly recommended for high-value purchases, as third-party grading ensures authenticity and provides a recognized assessment of condition. Avoid coins with excessive hairlines, spotting, or dull surfaces, as these flaws significantly reduce grade potential and resale value. Storage and acquisition strategies also play an important role. High-grade modern coins should be preserved in certified holders or archival quality materials to prevent toning or surface damage. Collectors often locate premium examples through reputable coin dealers, major auction houses, or established online marketplaces specializing in certified coins. Searching original mint rolls can occasionally yield high-grade discoveries, though this approach requires patience and knowledge of grading standards. Participation in numismatic forums and coin shows can also provide networking opportunities and insight into fair market pricing. In conclusion, while the 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar is not rare in absolute mintage terms, its most valuable specimens exemplify the concept of modern condition rarity. The coin carries the enduring legacy of President John F. Kennedy and remains a staple of U.S. coinage history. In top mint state grades or as authenticated era varieties, it commands significant premiums and strong collector interest. Its blend of historical continuity, classic design, and high-grade scarcity ensures its ongoing appeal among both beginning hobbyists and advanced registry competitors. As the supply of pristine examples remains limited and demand for top population coins persists, the 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar stands as a compelling and respectable modern collectible with steady long-term potential.